Hare Krishna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be going through my reflections of this lockdown and how it enabled the great unlock. In one letter, Srila Prabhupada says, "You can thin milk by adding water and you can make it thick by boiling. Now is the time for us to begin the boiling process. Now you know everything how to be a Vaiṣṇava Brahmana. Now you must practice these things or the whole thing will be a show only. Better to develop the small number of devotees we have, make them truly Krishna conscious boys and girls than to go on getting many followers who do not understand and practice the real principles. Better one moon than many stars." In another letter, Srila Prabhupada says, "I want that we shall concentrate on making our devotees Krishna conscious and ourselves becoming Krishna conscious, and not be so much concerned with expanding ourselves widely but without any spiritual content. Just like boiling the milk, it becomes thicker and sweeter. Now do like that. Boil the milk." In yet another letter, Srila Prabhupada says, "We may thin the milk till it becomes useless, or we may boil it until it becomes thick and sweet. So now we have got enough followers. Let us train them up perfectly in the philosophy and activities of Krishna consciousness way of life. Unless all of my students become very much fixed up in their spiritual progress, what is the use of so many programs for expansion? I am fearful that if we expand too much in this way, that we shall become weakened and gradually the whole thing will become lost. Just like milk, we may thin it more and more with water for cheating the customer, but in the end it will cease to be any longer milk. Better to boil the milk now very vigorously and make it thick and sweet. That is the best process. You mentioned you like to speak now very often, but the first business should be to preach to the devotees. It is better to maintain a devotee than to try to convince others to become devotees. Don't be too much concerned for the time being with non-devotees. Now we must fix up what devotees we have got in the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Then we will succeed. What good are many devotees if none of them are knowledgeable? Boil the milk." I've always been thinking of these instructions of Srila Prabhupada since the last 2 to 3 years, and I was just thinking how to help the devotees become stronger. And I always wanted to do something that will scale, that means that will be available for all devotees all over the world, and especially so for ISKM devotees. Because if we as devotees can stay strong together, then we can push this movement forward with great enthusiasm and endurance by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So it so happened that last year I wrote a poem to Srila Prabhupada on the Vyasa Puja day. As hearing and chanting dwindles bit by bit, Maya promptly attacks the devotional spirit. Kali then opens up his frightful armory of weapons like lust, anger, greed and envy. Only a strong taste for Krishna's holy name, his philosophy and his spotless fame can safeguard us from the path of shame and secure our progress towards life's real aim. Now that the milk has been separated from water, we have to boil it down to make it sweet like nectar. Devotees should be absorbed in Krishna philosophy, otherwise Maya will trigger her wicked wizardry. Devotional service without scriptural endorsement is the biggest disservice to human advancement. By hearing and chanting, if we constantly nourish, the creeper of bhakti will undoubtedly flourish. Introducing new people to Krishna consciousness is without question a very great service, but if their retention is not taken with cautiousness, what can be a greater disservice? Dear Srila Prabhupada, when your books are not purposefully read, our minds are agitated, our enthusiasm dead. All that interests us then will be food and bed. Our valuable spiritual lives we unnecessarily shed. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes it loud and clear that those who preach to devotees, there is no one more dear. I wish to contribute more towards making devotees strong. Not that I am strong, but I myself needed it for so long. In this regard, I devised many plans and schemes, but since I am fallen, I could not realize my dreams. These youthful years are my only remaining chance, for when old age hits, I won't even be able to dance. By the next Vyasa Puja festival, I take a solemn oath of running a tangible program to ensure devotees' growth. I have no faith in my ability, so I badly need your mercy to climb the mountain of service that lies ahead of me. Your unworthy dog, Tattvavid Das. So this was my promise to Prabhupada. And I was thinking, how will I be able to even do it? I was just praying to Srila Prabhupada how this can be achieved. And there were so many services and festivals and everything. There was so much preparation to be done. And I also had to involve myself in all the temple services. So I was just thinking how to fulfill this promise of mine. And time was running out. And we already started 2020. So I was thinking, oh, we have only 8 months. And February, March, and then the COVID-19 situation became very intense. And then the lockdown came in. Of course, in Singapore, they called it the circuit breaker. But essentially, it's the same concept of social distancing. And so that was indeed the beginning of this great spiritual unlock. Krishna willing, I immediately jumped onto the opportunity. And from the very first day of the lockdown, we started to have sessions every day. In my last vlog, I talked about this series that was coming up, Strengthening Foundations, and that happened. And we had so many series of videos now over the last 2 months, and it has been very, very fulfilling, to say the least. So many devotees, so many of you who are watching this have also joined in for the classes, and it has been very inspiring for me, needless to say. And we had gone through several series. Like first it was 19 episodes of Strengthening Foundations. So basically that series was about all the daily prayers that we sing and the daily customs and rituals that we do, so to understand them. Because I have seen that many a time devotees follow the routine, the program in the temple, but sometimes they don't understand what the songs mean and the significance of the things that we do as devotees, and prasadam and the meaning of the prayers and everything. So I just wanted to get it out there for the devotees to understand. If we are doing those things every day, like Mangalarati, chanting Hare Krishna, eating Krishna prasadam, wearing devotional clothes, all the songs that we sing every day, from morning to evening, and every aspect, even Tulsi Maharani, like the glories of Tulsi Maharani, why do we even sing that song to her? Why is she so important? So everything, and even the Premadhvani prayers, we went through all these basic foundational practices that we follow as devotees every single day. So the very fact that we do those things every day just highlights the importance of those things, and those are the foundations for our spiritual growth. So it is of paramount importance to understand the significance of these things. So that was the Strengthening Foundations series. And then we had Nectar of Instruction series, the Upadeshamrita series. And that went on for 11 episodes. And that is a very, very important book, the Nectar of Instruction, that every devotee should know. And so we went through that for 11 episodes. After that, out of request from one of the devotees on the live streams, we had done the 5-part series of Narsimha Leela on the occasion of Sri Narsimha Chaturdasi. And then after that, we went on to Shloka learning course. And this was one of my dreams come true, really. Because I really wanted all devotees to meditate on shlokas. And Srila Prabhupada wanted that. And I have presented all that in the Shloka learning course, how Srila Prabhupada wanted his devotees to learn all the shlokas and the importance of it, and how to actually practically learn them in our daily lives. So that was a 7-part series on the Shloka learning course, and that is very, very important. And I'm going to link all that in the cards here, and also in the description below, and also in the pinned comment below in this video. So you will have access to all that, all those playlists that we have created on our ISKM TV YouTube channel, and any future playlists and series that we do will also be linked down in the description and comments below. And then, so after the Shloka learning course, we did a series of classes or sessions on the Ritvik system of initiations, a 5-part series. This is by far the most comprehensive presentation on the Ritvik system you will ever find anywhere on the internet. Each of these sessions is about 3 hours long, so it's about 15 hours almost, the whole 5 videos. But those 15 hours will save the devotees so much anxiety and trouble in their devotional lives from having to go through all the ISKCON Guru system and so much trouble that it offers. So in this series, we did not take to personal attacks on the sannyasis or gurus of ISKCON. In this series, we presented documentary and historical evidence supporting the fact that Srila Prabhupada wanted the Ritvik system of initiations to continue after his physical departure as well. So in great detail, whatever questions you ever will have on the Ritvik system of initiations is clearly answered in those 5 videos. And we also took a look at the current guru system in ISKCON according to their own constitution, ISKCON constitution. Then you can decide for yourself whether you want Prabhupada or the guru system that they have manufactured completely without the authority of the sadhu, shastra and guru. So that is a very, very important series for all devotees for all time, because we have to know every devotee has a stake in that matter. And if every devotee can know this with an open mind, it's not about blasphemy, it's not about mudslinging, it's just about the pure instructions of Srila Prabhupada. That's it. And I'll leave it to you, the decision, because after watching the entire 5 videos, you will come to a very good conclusion about everything concerning the Ritvik system. After the Ritvik webinar series, then we had this series on Sri Ishopanishad, about 19 episodes, going through each and every verse of the Ishopanishad. And after that, we are now continuing currently with the Bhagavad Gita, and I have some other sessions planned, some series. And if you want to join us, you can actually go to our Facebook page and you can subscribe for our live notifications. You will be able to join us. So this has been going on. So it has been a great unlock. So whatever I have promised to Srila Prabhupada has come true, and this is just the beginning. And we have to sustain these efforts. And I'm thinking of how to guide the devotees more instead of just showing them how to do it, which is good. I have plans to take the devotees along the journey, and I'm thinking of how to do that. And as long as the devotees have interest, they will definitely benefit from the programs that I'm going to roll out in the future, depending on how the time permits. And if the lockdown is lifted, progressively we will go back to our normal schedules, which is organizing festivals, book distribution, fundraising, overseas traveling and all that good stuff. I'm very much determined to create a sustainable resource for devotees to access and learn the whole Krishna consciousness method, and so that devotees all around the world, because here in Singapore we at least have a temple and devotees can come here and interact with devotees, but as we have learned over the years, many devotees are out there who understand the Ritvik system but who are just alone and there's no temple around their place, and it can be very hard for them to actually be inspired, and therefore the association of devotees should be offered to them also. So to facilitate spiritual advancement for every one of you, I'm just thinking of some ideas on how to roll this out progressively. My biggest gratitude in this whole endeavor is to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kṛṣṇa, and of course all the Vaiṣṇavas who have come to support this endeavor of sharing knowledge. Now, let me say that although I promised Srila Prabhupada that I would do something to benefit the devotees' spiritual growth, I couldn't do anything. So I was absolutely helpless, and the time was running out. And I told Prabhupada, and as you heard it, I promised Srila Prabhupada that by the next Vyasa Puja, that means by 2020 Vyasa Puja, which is in August, I will do something in this direction. But I couldn't do anything, and that's why Kṛṣṇa was so merciful in a way that he arranged this lockdown. I mean, of course, we're sorry for all the lives that have been lost in the world, but this has been such a great spiritual opportunity, and can't thank Kṛṣṇa enough for actually arranging this whole thing so that I can actually fulfill my promise to Srila Prabhupada and to all the devotees that I owe this for so long, so that I can at least say something positive to Srila Prabhupada on this Vyasa Puja in 2020. And it's nowhere near the end of everything at all. By doing this, Kṛṣṇa has shown me how to do it, but now he will lift all that help that he has given in this lockdown. Because of this lockdown, every other service has practically come to a standstill. We did not have the Rath Yatra. I don't know how we're going to even do the Janmashtami. I don't think that will be a very big event again. And our regular program has no Sunday programs, absolutely nothing. So we had no choice but to do this program on the live streams in front of the camera, and every single day we have been doing this. I think save for except 2 days, I think, in the middle that we did not do, but otherwise Every single day we were here, and that's a great blessing by Kṛṣṇa. But now Kṛṣṇa will lift all that help, and he will definitely want us to do more with all the regular programs going on. It reminds me of a situation that happened in 2012. So we had this Rath Yatra. We usually, advertised in the newspapers and maybe a little bit here and there. That was until 2011. But 2012, Lord Jagannath wanted his Rath Yatra to, reach far more numbers than it used to. And then it so happened that there was a mistake by the advertising company, and because of that, they had offered us a package worth $51,000 for just about $17,000. And we got this huge publicity for the event because of that. And in 2012, the numbers spiked, and we quickly became very, very popular in the community. The next year onwards, Kṛṣṇa of course did not give the same help. Of course, the advertising company would not do the same mistakes again. So we had to pay all that extra amount. We got $51,000 package for $17,000. But from 2013 onwards, we had to up our collections and everything to match the awareness propaganda for the Rath Yatra to the level of $50,000 plus. And that was a huge jump. And we had to keep up with that standard that happened in 2012. And so we were forced to raise our bars and serve Lord Jagannath in even more intense ways for the Rath Yatra. And it became very, very successful ever since. So Jagannath gave that initial boost, but then he showed us, okay, my dear, this is how you should serve me. And then we had to figure out, of course, Jagannath gave the intelligence, so we had to figure out how to make this happen without that special help. And actually, that's the greater blessing. Because when Kṛṣṇa helps, there is not enough service that we could do because it just happened by His will. So now we have to work hard for it. So that means more opportunity of service for us. So that is actually the real blessing. So Kṛṣṇa will show how to do it, but then now He wants us to do it. Just like in the battle of Kurukshetra. Kṛṣṇa could have easily finished the whole war in 1 second. But he wanted Arjuna to fight. So he wants us to fight for him. He wants us to serve him. So Kṛṣṇa can do anything. But when we serve him, we will become purified. We will become blessed. And everyone who contacts that service in any possible way, whether by contributing as a donation or offering a helping hand, anything that brings people together to serve Lord Jagannath, that will be a blessing for them. So similarly, in this year, 2020, Kṛṣṇa has arranged this lockdown for me to put out this content, this great unlock that has happened. And I feel so incredibly blessed to be part of this whole thing, to be a very insignificant instrument in this entire mission of Kṛṣṇa. But I know that Kṛṣṇa is not going to do this pampering every time, so to speak. So we have to come up with plans so that this is sustained, and at the same time, our other programs also grow together with it. So that's what I have learned in this lockdown. And it has been a great journey of realization, and I'm very, very thankful to all of you who have joined us in the live streams, supported us with such encouraging comments, and it has been really inspiring to see all of you being inspired to read Prabhupada's books and to take them more seriously and put them into practice and see the changes in your own lives, and this means a lot to us. Thank you for putting up with my long classes, which have gone to 2 hours, 3 hours plus sometimes, being patiently waiting there and listening and taking it all in, putting it in your lives, seeing the results. And that's the greatest fulfillment, to see others become devotees. So thank you very much. I will continue to see in the live streams and more vlogs that are coming soon. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so and share these videos. Yeah, this one thing I want to talk about. Now, apart from being part of the live streams and listening, I beg you to kindly share these videos, these playlists to others. Just by clicking that share button, the same knowledge, you're passing it to somebody else and somebody else. And everybody who comes in contact with this is purified. And it helps in their lives as well. Nimanita Prabhu recently did a video and he explained it very beautifully, that this is just like a seed. A seed has so much potency. It's so small, but it has such great potency that when you just sow it in the soil, and then it sprouts, and then you have so many fruits, and each fruit has so many seeds, and in this way it just continues, and then so much is there in just one seed. Similarly, these classes, these sessions that we had are full of potency, not because of me at all, no. I'm not even in the picture, but because it's Srila Prabhupada's books, and we are just repeating them and we're just showing on the screen Srila Prabhupada's books, the words from his books. So that has been the presentation that was taught to us by His Grace Nandagopal Prabhu, and we're so thankful for this very innovative way of preaching that people can actually see what Srila Prabhupada said and what the Shastras say. They can actually see on the screens. So that has been a huge thing, and the audience really, all of you can, I think those of you who watch the classes, they can easily testify. You can easily testify that it has been a significant impact. I can say that for myself, because when I watch Sandagopal Prabhu's classes, and so many things we have learned from that screen of verses that go on in the classes. So these sessions are full of potency because of Srila Prabhupada's presence there in the form of his books. So kindly share the seeds of devotion with everybody. Just by those a few clicks, doesn't take much on your part. And by sharing that, you also become blessed, because you have helped another soul come back to Krishna, and that's a huge service. So you will become very dear to Krishna just by sharing these playlists. So all the links for the playlists are in the description and in the pinned comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the ISKM TV channel, you should. And you can also follow us on Instagram, and you can follow me on my Facebook, my Instagram, and also I do some videos on TikTok. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.